just got back from Baja, and we've got 2 days under our belt that we're back in Phoenix, and car's clean. Actually looks really good still, and we had an awesome race. I'll let him get started on
Well, the nice thing is we came back and the weather has changed to some just really, really beautiful here in Phoenix. It was 118 in Gila Bend on the way home, which was awesome.
Yeah.
Realized that Chase 1 has got a little air conditioning problem apparently, so we're going to have to address that before the next race for sure. But yeah, we just want to give a quick recap on the race here. Hopefully somebody out there is going to watch and see how it all went for us. But so Caden and Pat got off the line about 11:06 and 30 seconds approximately, and we got to start first because we had won San Felipe, so we started first, and which is good. There was about a half a dozen 7 trucks in front of us, and then a pretty big group of 10 cars. And I think our plan was to try and get around those 10 or the 7 trucks as soon as we could. If it was possible to catch those 7 trucks, put them in between the next UTVs to try and put some obstacles in between the people that were behind us that we're racing against. So, that was kind of the plan. Worked pretty good. The first time I saw the car was around race mile 40, and everything was going good. Caden had gotten around a couple of the 7 trucks already, and he was battling with another one at the time. They got on the highway, they went down the highway a little bit, back out in the desert, and we went on to race mile 70. Race mile 70, leading up to it, we got a call on the radio, and the panicked voice of Pat Stone said that they needed blah, 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 blah. I said, come again? No, we need blah, 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 blah. And of course I couldn't understand. So as it got a little bit closer, I realized what they were saying was, we need a lower driver control arm, front control arm. Like, oh, no, we're not ready for that. So figure out where they're at. They're only about a mile away. So we jumped in the truck, we got everything we needed, got it all laid out. Car came in, literally, that A-arm was just about ready to break. I think he had about another 200 yards on that A-arm and it would have broke and the car would have fallen down and then it would have been a disaster. But we got it into the pit, it went very, very smooth. We had a couple extra hands in there. A couple of guys from Polaris were there to help out. Thank those guys like crazy because, man, we had somebody on just about every bolt there, and it went really smooth. I think we got that arm changed in about 6 minutes. So they were back up 100% down the road, and off they go. But we did actually lose a couple spots because they were babying the car coming in. So I think we came in there. I think we were probably 5th or 6th on the road at that time in our class. So we had a little more work to do. We weren't running first anymore. So we had to get out there and do some work. And Caden did that. He got with the program and he worked super hard. So my next stop after that, we were planning on fuel at approximately race mile 105, which is Valley T. The course basically went right through Valley T, right down the road, and the place that we found a pit was at the far end of town. So we hadn't been set up for very long, and they were already coming into town. We heard them coming down off the GO trail. Everything was going good. They said, no problem, we just need fuel. So we were ready for them. The car came in. We did a super quick fuel stop. Matter of fact, we got that on video. I think it's up on Instagram, so which is cool. Super quick fuel stop. The car leaves. One of the spectators there hollered, said, hey, stop. You got blah, blah, blah. Same thing. Don't know. What did he say? Well, what he said was, there's a ball the size of a basketball of barbed wire wrapped around the rear axle. Big problem. So we did get the car stopped. He didn't take off. We got him stopped. We ran over to the car. We grabbed some wire cutters, and we proceeded to cut a wad. I don't know, it was probably, it felt like 10 pounds of barbed wire off the back of the car. We finally got all that unwound, and they left. We lost a couple spots there. But again, it was still a quick pit. From there, the course gets pretty rugged. Caden and Pat got to work again. Yep. And brought it to you at 2:25 approximately. Yep. Down at the bottom end of the course, approximately 2:25. Still sunlight, still light out, which was really good. So they were making a good time, and I think when they came to you, where were they on the road?
They were third physical on the road.
Okay, well
when I got in the car, and actually started driving. We were fourth. We lost one position during the driver change session.
Gotcha.
But yeah.
So Caden and Pat had to deal with the beginning of the biggest bottleneck I think they had for the whole race, which was about 176. And when they got there, they were fortunate enough to get around it before it got too bad. They were able to wiggle around a couple of cars that were stuck, and them and 2 or 3 other UTVs was all. So and those ended up being the guys that we battled all the way to the end.
Yep.
So it was our car. It was Phil Blurton got through, Brandon Sims got through, and I think Austin Whelan got through.
And Lambert.
And Justin Lambert, yeah. Justin Lambert apparently had some problems shortly thereafter because he ended up not finishing, unfortunately. I don't know what happened to him, but
he drove off a ledge of sorts and.
Okay, I did hear that.
I did hear that.
I did hear. Got
from the looks of it, it was a pretty nasty rollover. Not rollover, but a dive, I should say. Yeah. And it was for sure. It was something that I'm glad to see that they were okay and that their car was
for sure
was broken, but they were all good, and that's really what matters.
And you know, Justin, he's always on his game, man. He's always fast. So same with Sims, and Phil Burton. So anyway, so there it is. Now car's coming to you.
Yep.
Still before dark. You know, tell us what happened on your end. I'm out of touch for the rest of the day, pretty much till the very end.
You had the very last pit, but
very last visual.
So yeah, we got the car at 225. Like I said, they pulled in the pit, third physical. Phil Blurton came in about 5 seconds later. Austin Whelan, and then right behind them, like in their dust, was Caden.
Gotcha.
So pull in there. We had to get fuel there no matter what. So we pull in. We're doing fuel. We do the driver change. Driver change takes longer than expected every time, and it's definitely something that maybe we need to practice a little bit more. But but nonetheless, we got the driver change right at the very end. Lambert goes blowing by us.
Gotcha. Car's still in pretty good shape now. Yeah.
No, we didn't have to do anything to the car at that point. I want to say maybe we had some sway bar bushings or something that were loose or getting ready to be blown out, but making a little bit of noise. But the car's still functioning perfectly fine. And so they gave us the car in really good condition, and we were able to get out of that pit and motor on. About 20 miles down the road, 20, 30 miles, something like that, is where Lambert was off course, kind of in a ravine. So we were able to get around him. And then about, 30, 40 miles after that, we were able to get around Whelan in a speed zone. He was pitting his car. So we were able to get around him. And then right as we were going past him, he was pulling back out on course. So it was, we're racing again. And Blurton had made a little bit of ground on us and on Whelan. And so Whelan came in right behind us. We pull off the speed zone, and we both take off. And there's a drag race down this graded gravel road out towards the coast. And he was able to pull us a little bit. He had a little bit of speed on us, so he was able to pull us. And he actually ended up thinking that the turn was sooner than it was. So we're doing probably close to 70 miles an hour, and he slams on the brakes, turns his car sideways. I'm on the right side of him, and he turns his car in front of me and goes to make his turn. And so I'm slamming on the brakes, trying to not hit him, and trying to find out where we're at. Miles is telling me, no, the corner's further up. There's a VCP in the corner. We got to hit it. So they make their right-hand turn, and we keep going. And it worked out for us. We got around him again, look in the mirror, and he's back there again.
Sure.
So he made a mistake and thought the corner was sooner than it was. And so anyways, we got around him. We were able to keep him off for about between 10 and 20 miles, something like that. Got to a pretty nasty silt section. There was a bunch of lines. He was able to get around us on one of the lines, and he passed us. And so that's kind of where we fell in, and we were just kind of keeping our pace, keeping him in our sights and stuff like that. And then we were able to get around him again at a next fuel stop that he had to stop at, or a fuel stop, or some sort of stop that he did in a speed zone. Same thing. Looking at our mirror, watching him, he was able to pull out and get going again, but we were able to keep that distance off. I don't know if they broke something or what, but we were able to keep distance on them. And from that point, we knew Sims was behind us, and he was actually making a little bit of ground on us, and so we had to pick up our pace a little bit there, and then we caught up to Blurton. At one point, we were, probably about 20, 30 seconds behind Blurton is all. You could see his lights, and by now it's dark, so the dust was just horrible. It was sitting in those canyons, and it was just, you couldn't see anything. I'd get a little bit closer, and the dust would get so much worse, and so we were just making up time where we could make up time, and then falling back when we hit any mistakes. Exactly. Yeah. We knew how close we were to the finish line, and we didn't want any flat tires. We didn't want any broken parts.
For sure.
We wanted to get there and get there nice and smooth. So drove as safe as possible and as fast as possible, but we weren't quite able to get around them.
Gotcha.
So we crossed the finish line.
Yep.
We actually crossed the finish line second.
Well, I saw you at 466, and you guys were physically second on the road.
Yep.
And I tell you, Brandon Sims was not far behind, but Sims had started 28th or 9th, and so he'd come back.
It was close for sure.
And it was going to be super close on time. I was kind of doing the math in my head and thinking that, well, man, he probably has you guys both on time, and so we're kind of just hoping that you guys could make up at that last section. It's a good portion of that is speed zone, so
yeah,
you can't really make up any time in a speed zone for sure, but apparently Sims had a little issue.
Yeah, I think he had a mechanical problem of sorts. Don't know exactly what it was. Didn't get a chance to talk to him about it, but we ended up getting him by a decent amount of time. I don't know the exact split, but we got him by a decent amount of time, and we thought we had him.
Yep,
for sure.
Yeah.
So just like any other score race, you never know until it's over. Until the fat lady sings. Exactly.
Yeah.
And so we're kind of sitting around. We kind of think that we have taken second. That's kind of where we're thinking. We think we have Sims beat on time. Blurton started behind us, finished in front of us, so we know
he's ahead of us for sure.
So we're kind of sitting around waiting for a score to give us the word.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, this time we got a penalty.
Yeah.
Not something that we like to see.
We're actually on the road Sunday headed home when they posted the penalties, and unfortunately, looks like we may have missed a VCP and had a little bit of speeding violation, and we're waiting right now to kind of find out where that was. And it's disappointing, but we want to figure out where it was so we know that if we made a mistake, where we made it at. So
yeah, for sure.
So we're waiting on that. So it's disappointing, but we're still on the podium.
Yep.
Super happy about that.
Exactly.
We retained the points lead. Super happy about that.
2 podiums this year.
Yeah, 2 podiums so far, and 2 races to go. So, the 400 is going to kind of be. I'm guessing it's going to be a similar race to this, a little bit shorter. So, again, starting up towards the front, we're going to have to definitely do our homework, and for sure, same as this time. We do our homework, get down there, get a pre-running in. Get our lines picked, make sure the car's right, make sure the drivers are good, and hopefully we can come out at the top there. So and retain that points lead, and then that leads us into the 1,000, which is a point-to-point this year.
That's really
that's going to take all the assets. We're going to have to put every amount of effort. That's in November. All the effort's going to have to go into that race, and I'm just betting it's going to come down to the 1,000 because it always does. It always does. So another real quick shout out to Whelan's team. I know we battled with him all day, and I know he would have liked to beat us, and we would have liked to beat him. But you know what? His guys were right there when we had our little barbed wire issue, and they very, very graciously jumped in and helped us with that. And that's something I always like to say about all these UTV teams. Everyone's always willing to help. Whether it's parts or tools or just bodies, and that's kind of one of the things we love about our class, and again, we really appreciate it. The guys from Whelan's team there, and we'll return the favor someday, I'm sure. So thanks again. And aside from that, Baja was great. The weather was fantastic.
Way better than here.
These races are their Super Bowl down there. It's, the fans love it, and, they come out in droves and they watch the races and they cheer us on. And, man, I'll tell you what, it makes it worthwhile when you see the kids' faces when the race cars pull up. They love it. And, we're hoping to get back to normal, everybody kind of still conforming to the all the protocols, safety protocols and COVID protocols. But I heard rumors that hopefully we can get back to normal, maybe come the next race for the 400, hopefully.
I was hearing the 1,000 sounds like it may be back in Ensenada, and we get to do the main road, have a normal tech, and
looking forward to that.
To get rid of some stickers and
Get rid of some stickers for
some
sure.
stuff like
Yeah,
that.
these guys like the stickers, you know. Maybe we'll even have some other cool stuff for the kids. So, no, good stuff. We love going to Mexico, and you know what? It was a great outing, and you know, we're happy to be back, and everybody's good. Car's good, and we're ready to hit it again. Got to thank our team.
Yep.
You know, those guys all worked hard.
They did.
Got to thank Caden McCachran and his family for supporting us and being part of the program. You know, Caden's super fast. It's we're thankful to have him. We're definitely going to be really thankful come the 1,000 because we're going to need all the help we can get on that race for, you know, good fast drivers and fresh drivers. So you know, the kid's fast and smooth, and we're happy to have him. But you know, our crew works hard, and we couldn't do it without him. So, guys, kudos, man. Thank you. What else?
The guys that helped get the race car there.
Yeah.
Polaris.
Well, yeah.
All Balls, Fox.
Obviously, yeah. Let's talk sponsors.
Allmath.
Let's
all
talk
those
sponsors. Polaris Industries. We could not do any of this without Polaris Industries. These guys build the car that is the winning car. So we like it, we love it, and we got to have it, right?
Exactly.
New sponsor, All Balls Racing. You know, lots of great parts, and these guys are super supportive of the race program. Probably going to see a lot more of those guys here soon. They're definitely going to be out there. They're even talking about sending some guys down to the race, maybe to help out. So again, thank you to All Balls Racing. BF Goodrich tires, no flats this race.
Yep.
OMF wheels, no issues this race. Casey Highlights, great product. Worked the whole race, kept us in the light.
Fox shocks.
Fox
car
shocks.
handled amazing.
Perfect. Yep. Car was good handling. Polaris lubricants, you know, they protect the internals, and nobody sees their product. You know, it's not out there staring them in the face, but it's inside every case, and it protects a lot of products, and stuff looks new coming out. So it's that we're happy to have those guys on board. Factory UTV underneath.
Yep.
They see the worst part of Baja. They protect the bottom of that car, man. Who else?
PRP seats.
Shock therapy.
Yeah, shock therapy.
Yep, shock therapy's been a great help this season. You know, with shock stuff, and you know, helping us with the pre-runner, tuning the pre-runner, and their steering racks. We got steering racks in all our cars. Those are working great. Great products, great guys. Those guys are super to work with. So we're happy to have those guys around too. So.
Modern Race, they rebuild our transmissions and make sure that they're all fresh before every race. Put good fluid and make sure that that everything's working great.
Very, very meticulous. Very good attention to detail. Never an issue there.
So PRP seats, they kept us safe and comfortable. Seat belts, window nets, door bags.
Yep.
Seats. I mean, they take care of the interior and the safety of the car for sure.
Yep. If it's not made out of metal, it's probably made by PRP. Yeah, for sure. Those guys are awesome.
Yep.
And then High Lifter, man. You know what? High Lifter, they're building stuff for the desert now, and you know, we're running some High Lifter stuff on this car. We're running on all the play cars, running on our hunting rigs. I mean, suspension products, axles. I mean, all kinds of stuff. And they got all kinds of stuff out there. So, you know, check out High Lifter. Those guys are super, super great guys. Again, thanks to all the sponsors. We couldn't do it without you guys, and we're glad to have you on board.
Score International is definitely professional. They put together an awesome series for us to go down there in Mexico.
Yep.
And they're following all the rules to make sure that this happens.
Yep. They're working hard to get over all the obstacles that they have to do to make sure that we still have events to participate in and compete in. So it's a thank you, Score, for making it happen.
So the people behind the scenes that don't get to come to the races, my wife, my kids, your wife.
Yep.
The rest of our family that puts up with our long hours that we're at the shop, getting the car ready and doing all that stuff. That it takes a lot of time to put together a race program, and without their patience, we couldn't do it for sure.
Make sure we know that they appreciate that we appreciate them and putting up with this whole passion that we have for this stuff. So yeah, thank you families for sure.